Now, a common question that I get asked quite a lot, whether that be on the internet or from my slightly less techie friends and family, and that is XLR versus USB microphones. I get asked this quite a lot of times because I use an XLR microphone to use with my computer, and that's raised a lot of questions as to what is better, what is good for you, what microphone should I go for. So today we're going to be discussing XLR microphones versus USB microphones. So let's jump straight into today's topic and discuss microphones. Hey guys, my name is Matt from MC Tech here, and it's good to finally be back talking about technology, making videos. Now, just a quick personal update as to where have I been for the last couple of weeks. Well, I'm a university student. We've had assessment week for the past 2 weeks in terms of our midterm assessments. So I've been very busy doing my uni work. So that is why I've not been making videos recently. But now that little bit of assessment period's out the way, I have a little bit more free time to make some more videos for you. So we're going to kick off the next phase of the spring term of MLC Tech with our video on microphones. Now, with the current global situation, more and more people are staying at home. They're wanting, things such as webcams and microphones because they're staying at home doing video conferencing, or if you're the type of person who's not doing video conferencing and spending more time at home wanting a good microphone to, chat with your friends, or maybe in the global pandemic with staying at home, you've decided to maybe take up, video game streaming perhaps on Twitch or YouTube or whatever you may fancy. So the demand for microphones have certainly shot up recently, and this has raised an important question as to XLR versus USB microphones. Now, what on earth might that mean to someone who doesn't quite understand? Well, the main difference is XLR and USB is basically how you interface with the microphone and the computer itself. Now, traditionally, USB, Universal Serial Bus, it's the most easy and common method that you will find to basically connect anything to a computer, whether that be in your phone, keyboard, mouse, anything. Most external peripherals go through your Universal Serial Bus, and for the average user, it's super easy to use microphones over USB. Now, the other option that we have is XLR, which is a completely different connector. Instead of the traditional USB interface and connector, you actually got the XLR interface is actually, it's a circle connector with 3 actual prongs in the microphone itself. Now you're probably thinking, oh yeah, it's just different connector types. Yeah, it's a bit more complicated than that. Essentially the main difference between XLR and USB is how they transmit data initially. Now, USB transmits data from the microphone to your computer via USB, all digitally, all the processing, all the digital conversion from, which is all a digital signal from, from the point where your sound waves hit the microphone all the way to the point it reaches the computer. It's all a digital signal, whereas XLR is analog. From the microphone itself all the way up to your interface, it's all an analog signal, which has its advantages and also disadvantages. So let's break down USB microphones versus XLR microphones. Now, if you go on Amazon and search up, USB or XLR microphones, or just cardioid condenser microphones, you will see a lot of different options that are USB and XLR. The market's full of them. So let's go with a prime example of the Audio-Technica AT2020. If we look on Amazon at the moment, you will be able to see you can get an Audio-Technica AT2020 for £79. But then you look through the list and you think, oh, there's another one for £120. Surely I can just, go with, the cheaper Audio-Technica AT2020, right? Well, no. The cheaper microphone you see is the XLR variant, which at face value you may think, oh yeah, I might as well just go with the XLR version because it's cheaper, I want to save myself a bit of money. And then you're hit with the hard reality is XLR compared to USB is not plug and play. What am I talking about? Well, with USB microphones, you don't need much to actually set them up. You plug in your USB cable, you plug them into your computer, and you are off to the races essentially. All the drivers, all the processors, all handled from device to the computer. It's plug and play. You don't need to have any sort of technical knowledge or any special expertise in setting up your microphone. It's off to the races, plug and play, which if you're someone who doesn't really like get involved in setting up lots of techie stuff and just want something very simple where you can just plug in after the races, if you're, using purely all digital software, you just want to plug into OBS and stream some games, or you just want to plug in, go on Discord and talk to your friends, USB is the easiest version if you're someone who likes simplicity and you don't have much technical knowledge and just want something that you don't need to worry about. You can just plug in and just think, oh, that's sorted. I don't need to do anything else. I just want to, people to hear me in nice crisp quality, which for Discord and game streaming, I will say USB microphones compared to XLR, you're not going to have a bad time, to be fair. But XLR microphones are not so simply plug and play. Yes, at face value, they may look cheaper compared to USB variants. Well, to interface with your computer, you need to have a digital audio interface which will supply 48 volt phantom power to your microphone in order to power it. Then you will need the audio interface to transmit that analog signal into a digital signal that your computer can then recognize and actually use. And a common misconception that really pains me, and I know it shouldn't because not everyone understands, but when I see people say, oh yeah, can I just buy an XLR to USB adapter for like £5 and be done with it? No, you don't do that. You can't do that. Oh god, that actually triggers me. No, you can't do that. So that's another associated cost with XLR microphones. You're going to need to buy yourself a digital audio interface. What do I personally use at the moment? I'm currently using the Native Instruments Complete Control Audio 6 behind me. That's a pretty good audio interface. It does everything I need. The quality is super good, though it's around £180. Cheaper alternatives are available from the likes of the Scarlett. That's a simple around £80 that does the trick just as well, and it's a solid audio interface for plugging in headphones and also plugging in microphones as well. So yes, there will be an additional cost when it comes to XLR microphones. You can't just plug directly into computer, so yes, there's going to be more cables involved and more components involved when setting up an XLR microphone. Now let's talk about the actual quality difference between XLR and USB now. XLR microphones, in my personal opinion, are the best way in terms of the higher end audio. So what do I mean? Well, I'm currently using the Rode NT1 for my desktop microphone. You can get even more expensive microphones, such as the Shure SM7B, which is a brilliant, exceptional microphone. So if you're someone who really cares about having the best and ultimate audio experience, and you don't mind paying a pretty penny and, buying additional audio interfaces and mixers in order to maximize your audio, then XLR is definitely the way to go, whether you want the maximum quality for your game streams or voiceover work. If you have the budget and want to spend extra money on the best microphones and the best audio interface and mixers, then definitely go XLR if your budget permits. But for the more traditional user, USB microphones are not bad at all. Yes, they're a bit more expensive at cost value, so if you haven't already got a digital audio interface, it's possible that going USB, if you're not someone who needs the expandability of the XLR inputs, it's probably more best for you. If you're just someone who's game streaming and just wanting to plug into your computer and use it that way, it's probably best you go USB in terms of sound quality. Now, the bandwidth that you're getting over USB is more than fine for digital content, digital game streams, and Discord. So if you're going purely USB, if you're not so much a top level prosumer or professional, you're going to be fine just as well. Another benefit to going XLR is the expandability of your digital audio interface. So for example, if you already got an audio interface, it's cheaper to probably buy a microphone that can plug directly into your digital audio interface. It's also good if you're someone who's into high-end audio, such as plugging in headphones. A lot of the digital audio interfaces also acts as DACs, so you can plug in your headphones and power your headphones through them and get even better quality out of your headphones. So that's another option for expandability if you really like your audio. And also, if you're trying to set up more professional production, it's much easier to have multiple XLR inputs into your microphone than use it as a single input in computer software. I know a lot of times it can be really awkward to use multiple pieces of USB equipment at once, especially audio USB equipment. I've had bad experiences in the past with trying to use multiple USB microphones and music devices, such as in Fruity Loop Studio, you know, the Native Instruments suite. I sometimes do a bit of music production, so having lots of USB inputs and audio drivers is just hell if you're, for example, a music producer. It's not so much an issue if you're just using single inputs over USB, but when you start to use more than two, sometimes the audio drivers can conflict and can cause you a lot of issues. So definitely, if you're someone who plans on using a lot of external audio equipment, I would definitely recommend going XLR over USB if budget permits. So ultimately, it comes down to what are your needs and what is your budget for a microphone. Well, like I said, it can really depend what you should go with. If you're a simple user and just want something to play some games with, you know, talk to your friends, maybe do a couple of game streams, and you don't have an audio interface already, and you just want something where you can just plug in and play and not have to worry, and still get pretty good quality that no one's going to complain about on any game stream or any YouTube video, you're still going to get quite good audio out of it, and that's all you really care about, then I would recommend going USB, just because it's the ease of use and convenience, and also in the digital realm and platforms that you could possibly be using it on, you're not going to have a bad time, and in fact it's going to be more than good enough for what you may need it for. Whereas if you're someone who's more professional prosumer and you like more professional audio, you like having that more, just that subtle clarity, that enhanced quality out of your voice, and you don't mind spending a bit of extra money on setting up on the initial cost of a digital audio interface, and also maybe more expensive microphone upgrade options down the line, then definitely XLR is the way to go if you have the more of the budget and you're someone who likes more professional setups. Though it is good to mention that USB microphones are also good for portability, so you can just unplug from your desktop. You know, let's say you're going away on a little trip, you can plug in your microphone to your laptop or any other devices. Whereas it's a bit hard to though it is possible to, you know, carry around a big stand for your XLR microphone, carry around your audio interface, and make sure you've got enough USB ports and power for it all. Which, to be fair, I take my audio interface with me everywhere just in case and use it on my laptop, but it depends what sort of user you are. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video on microphones. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope it's possibly helped you decide what sort of microphone you want to buy for yourself in the future. Anyway guys, I've been Matthew from MLC Tech here. It's been good to be back and make another video for you, and if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure to subscribe. Perhaps give it a like, comment down below, join the conversation. What sort of microphones are you using? What are your opinions on XLR versus USB? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's have a conversation. It's all very good to, you know, join in and just talk about tech in general. So anyway guys, I've been Matt from MLC Tech. I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Goodbye.